The Pliskin faction. The Order of the Serpent.
The Venom Snakes.
No, that's a different thing.
Oh, you're right.
I'm sorry.
But it's not a different thing. That's Snake Plissken, right? I mean, they based it on him.
Yes?
Although Venom Snake is based on Jack Bauer, so you're right. That is different.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's...
I've never played MGS5, so I don't know anything.
They hired Kiefer Sutherland to be his voice actor.
Is that why people keep... I'm not going to talk about the ending, because there are things I know happen in the ending and get revealed, though I've never seen it.
What is this place?
I mean...
Oh, look, it's a B-Wing!
Oh, man. I kind of love this era of games where they just had tons of bloom. Like, just overpowering bloom everywhere.
Yeah, that's how you hide the depth of field models, is you just hide them in bloom and smoke.
Yeah. You just need massive bloom, and then everything can be low quality textures because it'll be covered up because you can't see anything because it's all white. That's the Oblivion model of graphical design. Nowadays they do that with God Rays, which do a similar thing but look cooler.
This game does have God Rays, remember?
It probably does, yeah. That was one of the things that was very
we
hard
saw it
for,
last time.
like... If I remember correctly, like, both consoles actually had hardware support for, like, God Rays, so it got put in lots of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it was very hard for home computers to render them, because God Rays are actually really expensive if you do them right. So...
I think we just picked up our first journal. And
Oh,
Will
dang!
goes, journal.
Got a lore thing. Got some audio logs.
Yeah, a thing I never saw.
Well, hell,
Oh,
pull it up.
Okay, I'll pull up a journal.
Great.
It even has its own little section here. Let's see. Our existence here in the void, never luxurious in the least, has been utterly mean. A mean existence. To stay ahead of the Watchers, the Sneeple, the sobriquet by which our pursuers are known.
Wow. Okay. I kind of already regret deciding to do that. That's really...
Yeah. And I think this guy is called, like, Neil of Farts.
Like, this is another thing
what-
that really cements this game as the era that it's from, right? Is, like... Every game has this elaborate, high-concept backstory that has no meaning or purpose. Right?
Mhm.
Like...
It has no bearing on what we're doing or
Right. None of
why
the,
we're doing.
None
It's
of the
just
backstory
like
matters. And that's,
What?
so you can... And that, again, was inspired by the fact that, like, Halo and Gears and all these games had all these, like, novels, all these spin-offs, right? Like, we gotta have a backstory,
Effect.
so when Dark Void is a
Mass Effect
smash
has
hit,
been-
we can make a ton of money. Everybody's gonna want to buy Dark Void 2, they're gonna want to buy Dark Void, like, the novelization, the side novel that's about what the woman was doing at this time, like, it's gonna be media
Ava.
craze. What?
What is she up to? I want to play a game about Ava.
I'm sure she's doing something.
But okay, so one thing we did mention is that this game has like physics-specific effects, and one of them is, check it out, there's smoke. There's smoke coming out of the windpipes.
Those are very cool. Havoc
Yeah,
Facing
it's
Sense.
so cool, and it's only there to make you see less things. This is an effect that was also done in hardware for the Alice game. Remember that Alice game?
Yeah,
American
the
McGee's Alice
sequel.
2.
The one where you have
Yeah.
a triple jump. That one.
I think it was a sync double jump.
The new guy.
I think it was just a triple jump from what I remember. But it was funny because like they put that in there and then they realized, oh shit, that means like platforming. All the platforms have to be like a mile apart.
Bunks.
And
Yes.
Go ahead.
so that's kind of what happens.
Attempt will be by later.
I haven't thought about that in a long time. American McGee. Wonder what he's doing these days.
Oh. I think he's doing phone games.
That's-
Anyway, Will here, he gets his own room and a bed, and St. Petersburg is now.
So I googled Dark Void novelization, and I couldn't find one, but I found it on a list of top 5 video games that should have been novelized. Which...
I wish I could fart on command so I could fart right now, because that's what it deserves.
Number 1, Duke Nukem Forever. Number 2, Lair. Number 3, Too Human. Number 4 is Modern Warfare 2, and then number 5 is Dark Void, so there you go.
None of these games have good stories. What year is that fucking article from?
2013. Don't you wish you had a novel of Lair, the classic PlayStation 3 exclusive? Lair?
No.
Oh my god.
Have you
I
heard of the
remember Lair.
Adepts?
Yeah, yeah.
Hang on.
Must have dozed off.
Wow, I must have fallen asleep while I was on a bed. So, let's check out our digs. 30-06 cal? Bullets, a whole lot of them.
Glad to. It was a perception. Be nice to show
I'm sure this did something, but I'm pretty sure it has no bearing on what we're doing. A whole lot of fuel. A barrel for pooping. That's a poop barrel. It's decided. Oh, and a valve. And that's the extent of our sleeping quarters.
So Joe, I want you to
Yes.
describe to me, without telling me his job or role in the story, Will, the hero of Dark Void.
Oh, is this like in that one Star Wars review?
I guess, but like I found an interview with the producer where he talks about the character, so I want to see what you think about this fine video game hero. What do you think about him?
Let's see. I think he's estranged, emotionally detached, gruff in a manner, but not in any way in a threat in any way that could be construed as a threatening. He's got stubble.
He does have stubble. That's a good point. He because what the producer says is that he says if you look at most Western games, your character is more of a blank slate, like Gordon Freeman or Master Chief. So he says we wanted to have the player go along for the ride with Will, the main character, versus the player just being Will, and that made it a stronger game. There you go.
You
They
know
wanted
what?
him to be this iconic character.
I could see the seeds of that, but I strongly feel that there was some sort of producer oversight that just killed most of his characterization.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, like, in battle, he is incredibly rude. Like,
It's true.
it just the rudest fight boy.
He also says, I always say that if we don't make at least one person throw up, we've failed, because our goal is to induce vertigo. There you go.
You know what? That is a very pre-2014 sentence.
What do you
Because,
mean by
like,
that?
I mean, like, it's the sort of elitism that you would think is okay back in 2010, but we just don't think we're not okay with anymore.
I
Things
think
have changed.
That, like, Xbox One is marketed as being like elitist, don't you think? Like only for hardcore
they've got the
players.
Elite model.
The most powerful console.
But I mean, just look at this. Well, what are you doing? You
took
you
the
held a
thing over.
guy down by his throat, and then you shoot him in the face.
Are you saying video games aren't as violent as they used to be?
I'm saying, like... So let me tell you about Uncharted and ludonarrative dissonance.
I don't want to talk about Uncharted, man.
No. So, but like, it's pretty much the same thing. Is that you have this really bland and somewhat boring character who just goes through the motions, and then as soon as you go into battle, you have these execution moves that just, well, they're far from bland.
Yeah. I was thinking about that because in Tomb Raider, in the reboot of Tomb Raider, which is an Uncharted ripoff in many ways, there's a section where she gets injured, right? She's really hurt and she's limping, but as soon as enemies appear, you immediately get like the normal combat controls back, and she runs around. And then the combat stops, and she's like, "Oh shit! I forgot I hurt my leg, I guess, and now I have to limp again." It's really stupid. Because they wanted that scene, but then they're just like, "But we have to have combat in our game, so we can't do that." So they tried to do both.
Yeah. There was a scene that was like that, but done proper, in Iconoclast. You have this guy, I forgot his name, but he's like, Robin's brother,
Okay.
and he gets hurt. He gets really, really, really hurt. But, like, he can still move, he can still swing that little sword thing he's got.
Right.
And you fight a really good boss fight. It takes a while, but you really feel like you've, overcome these controls that were before showing that he was hurt, and are now showing that despite it being hurt, he could use his smarts to overcome these circumstances.
Right.
And I just really feel that it shows you could do both. You can have a combat moment, have it be hectic, and still feel like your character isn't at their full potential.
Yeah, but that's not fun, right? That's the problem.
It was... I get you're being facetious, but it was fun. It was incredibly fun. I felt more invested in, again, forget his name, but I felt invested in him as a character.
I remember, I think it's Uncharted 2, where you get to the end and Nathan Drake won't kill the main villain because he's got principles. And it's like, that's so stupid. Nathan, you kill
right?
people all the time.
So many people.
He's like a mass murderer. I mean, like, and it's not even like, I mean, I guess it's sort of in self-defense, but like he's trying to steal shit. So like, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he was like living at home peacefully and people tried to kill him. Like he went out to rob graves and then he killed people. But he's like, I'm not like you. I don't kill people.
I'm a man of peace. I'm done killing.
Yes. As opposed to like Kane and Lynch 2, where they just kill everyone and they don't give a shit.
And a dog.
And a dog. They kill 2 dogs.
Oh, okay.
In the famous ending boss fight of Kane and Lynch 2, Dog Days. They fight
Where they
2
find a
dogs.
dog and they kill him.
There are 2 dogs at an airport and they kill them and then they get on a plane and then they fly away. and that's the end of the game. That game's amazing. It's like, I don't know. I wonder if maybe they made it like, if they like made it because they hated people. Did they like hate gamers? Because it's very.
You know what?
I mean, like that'd be fine. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, gamers should get fucked.
But it's just
And
like
I
so
don't mean in the
deliberate in like how unpleasant it is. I don't know. It has a naked old man gunfight in a McDonald's. Like,
I approve. I very much approve.
they get tortured and they lose all their clothes and they're just like, shit, we gotta go fight some people, and they just run through a McDonald's and shoot everyone while naked. And then one of them, I forget which one, he steals a hoodie that just says like Africa on the back, and that's what he wears for the rest of the game. Is just like this Africa Rasta hoodie that he found in the trash. That's it.
Come in.
And now we're inside.
Nice. Oh, you got the cool helmet.
Yeah. Oh, are you ready for
What your adversary has to offer.
are you ready for characterization where they just tell you who you are?
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Always remember who you are, and it will not consume you. The day will come when you must cast it aside.
The day will come when you must cast a thing aside.
Yes.
Hurry.
This makes me think of like, there was... Do you know who Aaron Sorkin is?
It's familiar.
He's a filmmaker, right? And I saw his most recent movie, which is about a poker magnate. And it's pretty good, but near the end, the main character, she has like all these like, she's got a lot of issues, right? And that makes her kind of interesting, but near the end, she meets up with her dad, who is a psychiatrist, and he just says, I'm going to explain all of your problems now in 3 minutes. And then he does.
Okay.
And it was just like, did you just think like the audience were idiots? Is that what happened here? Because it's not like a revelation.
Maybe he did.
He just says like, I'm going to explain all of your father issues right now, and all of the other things that you're dealing with. They'll all be explained. And then he does. And it goes on and on. And at the end, she just says like, well, that sounds about right. And then that's the end of that. It's incredible.
Nice. In other issue news, our jetpack is on.
Yeah, and we've got the cool helmet from the box art. So now we finally look kind of like the box art guy.
Yeah. As opposed to the guy in the game Icon, which is just like, I gotta post this icon. It's super doofy.
Which is like, it seems like it's from a previous build of the game or something, where like he looks different. He looks silly. I don't think that the helmet is a bad look. I think that the Dark Void suit's pretty cool, but I mean in a sort of mid-2000s way, but it's not bad. It looks like Mass Effect.
I kind of like that they pretend that the radar in this helmet is super useful when it's exactly the same thing as you used to have, only blue and glowy.
Now it's a sci-fi radar. Honestly, this game has some similarities to Titanfall 2 in the way that he like gets his, like the way that the technology and sort of things develop over the course of the game, except that has a conclusion too, and this kind of doesn't because. So, last night I was trying to work on some stuff for class, right? I gotta finish this thing. I gotta go like teach next week. So I had to get it done. And I live next to the track that the track team for the university uses, right?
Nice.
So every once in a while I hear them playing like really loud music because they're like jogging. And last night they were jogging to Last Surprise from Persona 5. That was their exercise music.
All right.
It was just that on a loop for an hour.
Yeah, why not? Oh, for an hour?
Yeah.
I guess you never saw it coming.
I didn't see it coming. It was weird because I heard it. I was like, is one of my neighbors like being really rude and playing Persona? And then I went outside and no, it was like the whole stadium was full of the sound of Persona 5 soundtrack. Like there was a really
Wow.
long boss fight going on in the track team, and they had to fight it. Maybe they were. Maybe they're doing some Persona stuff themselves. But yeah, it was really funny to me. They're just like, it's got a good beat to it. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was just funny where it just kept going. It just wouldn't stop. Anyway.
Anyway.
Remember Quantum Break?
I try not to.
Oh, okay.
Just what I need.
Hey, new grenade.
Oh, nice.
But
The grenades are
I-
not very good.
well, I tried them out. Let's see. There's Watcher Forces. And they're all below me now.
Okay, cool.
I like that these guys are now counting heads. You know, very classy. And
Maybe the world needs a reboot of Dark Void. What do you think?
isn't BioWare making one?
Are they? Oh, you mean Anthem?
They're-
Oh man.
Anthem, like how it looks and plays, it's giving me the Dark Void feels.
Maybe we didn't need a reboot of Dark Void. Anthem looks, I don't know, it doesn't look like what I want, but I'm sure some people will maybe like it. I don't know.
There's a lot of things like just how you play it. Like in that respect, it's what I want in a game, but then there's just all these things around it, like the mission structure, the
Yeah, like we've already got
fact that it's an EA game in a very 2017 sense.
Yeah, EA has become like one of the worst game publishers, I think. Well, I don't
They are
know.
the
Konami's
worst.
pretty shady too, actually. I don't think EA
I mean-
like blacklists people or like gets them killed by the mob, so I guess Konami is worse, but
They're not as bad as DNA in some respects. On account of DNA, we're kind of their inspiration for a lot of the shit
yeah.
they're doing.
they're not as bad as Deep Silver because they're not funded by like shady Russian like possible organized crime money.
Hey, Deep Silver at least makes decent games.
That's true. Thank
I
God
say.
for those organized crime bosses. They really like video games.
Ah,
That might... Actually, didn't Deep Silver go under? Am I thinking of the right company?
that was THQ.
No, but then THQ got sold to someone who also went under recently.
Oh,
And I think it was Deep
Yeah, that
Silver. I
must
think they
have
got
been
bought
Deep
by
Silver.
Nordic, I think, is what happened.
yeah. Who are now THQ Nordic.
Yeah,
somehow.
Nordic are like the lords of like mediocre funded games. Like strategy games that aren't that great, but you might as well play them. That's kind of Nordic's brand at this point. It's a
Yeah.
shame, but it's true.
I don't have a horse in that race, and oh my, look at that animation.
Oh man, they're making a Tropico 6 with like just some random people. I don't even know who's working on it. It's not the original team for sure, but
Okay.
someone's working on it for Nordic because the Tropico people went to Paradox to go make the Mars game, which I have no idea if that's any good, but that's what's going on there.
Exit these ruins.
I don't know. You know what? Bring back like mid-grade corridor shooters. I'd love them. Bring them back. Dark Void, whatever. All these games. I miss this kind of stuff. It was like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. That's what it is. You know? Until
Well, at this point, I was missing all the mid-grade PS2 games where it was like third-person platformer.
Yes.
Third-person platformer, except you're a really weird thing doing really weird things.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Mosquito!
At this point, people were like, you know, there's too many shooters. Where are all the 3D platformers and RPGs? But now it's like, now even these are gone, and all we have is, I don't know, Battlefront 2? Like, fuck, man.
You can take.
Ways to tell you boxes that don't even include the thing you want.